Well, we almost had a major disaster here in the eastern Sierra. The Pleasant Fire broke out Sunday afternoon, but hey, some great work by our local first responders and hundreds of others helped keep the so-called Pleasant Fire from becoming much worse than it was. Now, at last report, as of Wednesday morning, the Pleasant Fire had burned 2,250 acres, 50% containment. Pleasant Fire broke out Sunday afternoon. First calls coming in at 2:12 in the afternoon with reports of a fire near the Pleasant Valley campground. Now, while the cause of the fire is still under investigation, some unconfirmed reports state that it was started by a campfire, and with the winds whipping up to 20 miles an hour, the fire quickly spread. Mandatory evacuations were ordered for residents in the Dixon Lane area, as well as Highlands and Glenwood mobile home parks and surrounding areas. Now, local law enforcement personnel also evacuated all businesses in what most call the Rite Aid shopping center. Customers were urged Sunday afternoon while they were at some of those businesses to vacate the area. An evacuation center was set up at the Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fairgrounds in Bishop for displaced residents and their animals of all sizes, and that evacuation center stayed open until all were allowed back to their homes. Now, there were many road closures, including Brockman Lane, Five Bridges Road, Pleasant Valley Reservoir Road, Jean Blanc Road, and Dixon Lane west of the housing toward Brockman. Now, the Pleasant Valley campground at last report still closed. Escorts by Inyo County Sheriff for emergency necessities only. Also, the Pleasant Valley Pit campground also closed. Again, escorts are available to retrieve belongings, this through the Bureau of Land Management. Now, at one time, there were over 400 personnel on scene with 50 fire engines, 20 fire crews, 2 dozers, and I actually also saw, although it wasn't listed on the press release, a helicopter making at least 1 water drop. As we said, so many of our local first responders quickly mobilized, and the firefighters from Paradise, Mammoth, Bishop, Big Pine, Independence, Lone Pine, Long Valley, and Wheeler Crest fire departments converged on the Pleasant Valley Reservoir area to battle the flames, which made the Sunday night sky light up in a big way, flames shooting dozens of feet into the air. Now, our unified command with CAL FIRE and the Inyo County Sheriff's Office oversaw the initial battle against the Pleasant Fire. Other cooperating agencies include the BLM, United States Forest Service, Cal OES, the CHP, CDCR, Caltrans, Mono County Sheriff's Department, Southern California Edison, Red Cross, and many great personnel from the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. So many wonderful people helping to keep the blaze from spreading to the Laws and Bishop areas. Firefighters worked overnight Sunday and throughout Monday before crews started to be released late Monday and into Tuesday. As of Wednesday morning, CAL FIRE was reporting no fire activity, but heavy mop-up from smoldering activity. Photos and video that we've been looking at courtesy of the Inyo County Sheriff's Office, Bishop Fire Department, California Highway Patrol, and Sierra Wave Media's Bill Schneider. Again, some great work by hundreds of people to help keep the Pleasant Fire from becoming what could have been a big disaster in the Eastern Sierra. I'm sure I speak for most people when I say, from our local community, thank you very much. Well, Deb Murphy filed a report noting the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power suing Inyo County for violating the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, by attempting to, quote, obtain property and water rights owned, end quote, by Los Angeles at 3 Inyo County landfills without conducting, quote, the necessary environmental review, end quote. Now, according to a press release set to Sierra Wave Media last Friday, the suit was filed February 9th. Inyo County Council Marshall Rudolph, Deb Murphy writes, was unaware of the suit when contacted Friday afternoon. Unable to comment on the ongoing litigation, Rudolph did confirm that Inyo County had filed for condemnation Wednesday, February 14th. He also said the department had yet to conduct an appraisal to counter Inyo's $522,000 bid for the landfill sites in Bishop, Independence, and Lone Pine. Los Angeles Department of Water and Power General Manager David Wright's statement identifies the department's reason for the suit, quoting, "The period of time under California law to formally object to Inyo's action was expiring, and the county had refused to extend the legal deadline," end quote. Now, the statement calls Inyo's move to condemn the sites unnecessary, disappointing, and we believe violates CEQA and the long-term water agreement. Now, what's confusing is LADWP's suit was either filed 5 days before the county filed for condemnation, or the press release got the date wrong. Now, in mid-August, Richard Harasick, the DWP's Assistant General Manager of Water Systems, attended Inyo County Board of Supervisors meeting with a resolution regarding eminent domain proceedings. Harasick offered to negotiate a sale price that would be fair to Inyo, but without the water rights. He also urged Inyo County not to proceed with the eminent domain process. Inyo County did proceed, explaining the resolution did not initiate litigation, it simply authorized it. Now, the county's inclusion of water rights in the condemnation may be the biggest sticking point. The department has maintained the city charter won't allow any transfer or sale of its water rights. Now, at a technical group meeting in late January, James Giannotta, DWP Aqueduct Manager, offered to make the landfills an enhancement mitigation project. DWP GM David Wright's full statement is posted on our website, sierrawave.net, and you can see Deb's story on there also. Deb Murphy also filed this report. Mark Brownlee, Mammoth Resorts President and Chief Operating Officer, stressed the importance of access to the ski area at Wednesday's Eastern Sierra Council of Governments meeting. Now, when asked after last week's meeting if Mammoth Mountain Ski Area had an official position on the choice for regional service, Mammoth or Bishop, Mark Brownlee tactfully said only that Mammoth Mountain supported a regional approach. Now, remarks from Mammoth Mountain's Eric Clarks at last week's Mammoth Lakes Tourism Board meeting, reported by the Sheet newspaper, unequivocally supported Bishop as the provider of air service. Now, whatever Mammoth Resort's actual position on the airport preference, the tide may be subtly turning downhill toward the Owens Valley. Now, according to Inyo County CAO Kevin Caruncio, the airport certification manual was sent to the Federal Aviation Administration a couple of weeks ago. The document will outline what's needed for Bishop to support commercial air service and how much it would cost. The FAA's review should take a maximum of 3 months, this according to Inyo County Supervisor Jeff Griffiths. Now, the Eastern Sierra Council of Governments Chair John Wentworth suggested the respective staffs, including Inyo and Mono counties, the city of Bishop, and the town of Mammoth Lakes, could start discussions in what he called a complex and interesting process. Now, according to Mono County Supervisor Bob Gardner, the FAA recommended the entities develop a joint powers agreement to deal with airport issues. We're still uncertain where we're headed, Gardner said. We need to get to the point where we can say where we are, what needs to be done, so the public knows. Gardner also pointed out that the Eastern Sierra Transit Authority was a prime example of a regional solution to an Eastern Sierra issue. Eastern Sierra Transit Authority was also formed through a JPA. He noted Inyo's statement of intent, a non-binding agreement to continue discussions toward regional service, was a precursor to a formal JPA. Kevin Caruncio said the next step will be to take the statement to other stakeholders with the hope of filling in some of the financial blanks. We thank Deb Murphy for that report, and we'll be back with more news.